When the galaxy's most feared warlord sends his elite death squads to conquer Earth, he expects an easy victory over the primitive humans. Instead, one unstoppable soldier named Kai Storm turns the invasion into a catastrophic joke. In just hours, this human warrior dismantles centuries of military tradition, shatters unbeatable records, and leaves the alien empire questioning everything they thought they knew about warfare. What starts as a routine planetary subjugation becomes a darkly hilarious nightmare for the invaders, and a revelation about why you should never ever underestimate humanity. I am Vorthak the Conqueror, Supreme War Marshal of the Crimson Dominion, and I have led successful campaigns across 47 star systems. My name makes entire planets surrender without firing a single shot. My tactical genius is studied in every military academy from here to the Andromeda Cluster. So naturally, when I sent my best warriors to subdue Earth, I expected to be sipping victory wine by dinner time. That was 6 hours ago. Now I am watching my command screen with the growing realization that I may have made what the humans call a whoopsie. The first strike team landed in what the humans labeled Nevada, 0600 hours. 12 of my finest soldiers, each one capable of tearing through reinforced steel with their bare claws. The team leader was Grokath, a veteran of 32 planetary invasions. He once single-handedly destroyed an entire battalion on Proxima 7. His final transmission lasted exactly 4.3 seconds. It consisted of him screaming, and I quote, "How is he moving that fast? That is not physically. Oh no, he has a knife. Why does the knife glow? Why does the knife?" Then static. 12 elite warriors. Gone. 4.3 seconds. I stared at the blank screen. Surely there had been some technical malfunction. Perhaps a power surge. Maybe a meteorite strike. Anything except what the data was suggesting, which was that one single human had eliminated my entire team faster than it takes to brew morning stimulant. Send the reconnaissance report. I ordered my second-in-command, Threxus. Threxus, to his credit, did not laugh. His face did something weird though. His mandibles twitched. I think he wanted to laugh but was too terrified of me. "Marshal," he began carefully, "the preliminary scans show one human male, age approximately 28 standard years, height 1.8 meters, weight 82 kilograms, no visible cybernetic enhancements, no armor. He is wearing what appears to be tactical pants and a black shirt with some kind of mammalian creature printed on it." "One human?" "Yes, Marshal." "No enhancements?" "None detected, Marshal." "And he killed 12 of my best soldiers in 4 seconds?" 4.3 seconds, Marshal." I made Threxus stand outside my command center for an hour after that. Not because he was wrong, but because I needed someone to be angry at. And he was convenient. The second team went in at 0730. This time I sent 20 soldiers. I also sent attack drones, orbital surveillance, and a mobile artillery unit. I was not taking chances. The human was sitting on a rock eating something from a wrapped package. Our translators picked up the label, protein bar, chocolate chip flavor. He looked directly at our drone camera and waved. Then he vanished. Not teleported. Not cloaked. He just moved so fast our cameras could not track him. One moment he was sitting, the next moment he was standing behind our front line, and 3 soldiers were already falling. I watched in growing horror as this human, this impossible creature, moved through my warriors like wind through grass. He used no energy weapons, no plasma rifles, no molecular disruptors, just knives, his fists, and occasionally whatever he could grab from my own soldiers. At one point he beat one of my men unconscious with that soldier's own helmet, while the helmet was still attached to the soldier's head. The artillery unit managed to fire exactly once. The human caught the explosive projectile mid-air, ran up to the vehicle, and shoved it back into the cannon barrel. The resulting explosion was visible from orbit. "This is impossible," I muttered. Threxus, who I had allowed back inside, nodded. "The human physiology should not allow such speed or strength, Marshal. Our scientists are baffled." "Baffled? Our scientists are baffled? I am sending our most advanced military assets against one primitive mammal, and we are baffled. Perhaps we underestimated Earth, Marshal." I wanted to throw Threxus out the airlock. I really did. Instead, I authorized a third assault. 50 soldiers, full heavy armor, plasma weapons, shield generators. I even sent Kraxon, my personal champion, a warrior who had never lost a single combat in his entire life. Kraxon lasted longer than anyone else, almost 6 minutes. He actually managed to surprise the human once, getting a solid hit to the shoulder. The human looked at his bleeding shoulder, then looked at Kraxon, then said something our translators picked up clearly. "Dude, that actually hurt. Nice shot. Your turn is over though." What followed was less a fight and more an educational demonstration on why gravity is a suggestion when you are human. The male called Kai Storm moved in ways that violated at least 7 laws of physics. He ran along walls. He used his own soldiers as stepping stones. At one point he threw a grenade straight up, jumped after it, kicked it back down at a precise angle, and used the explosion to propel himself toward our command vehicle. Kraxon tried to retreat. The human caught him, disarmed him, and then in what I can only describe as adding insult to catastrophic injury, gave him a wedgie. A wedgie? My champion, the terror of 3 sectors defeated by atmospheric lift applied to undergarments. The human then pointed at our surveillance drone and spoke directly to me. "Tell your boss, I am just getting warmed up. If he wants this planet, he is going to have to try way harder." Then he smiled. Humans have too many teeth. It is unsettling. I sat in my command chair, watching the tactical display light up with casualty reports. 84 warriors, gone, all our ground equipment, destroyed, our landing zones, compromised. And one human male was calmly walking back toward a nearby settlement, eating another one of those protein bars. "Marshal," Threxus said quietly, "perhaps we should reconsider our approach." "You think?" I pulled up the human's profile again. Har Storm, former military, discharged after what they called Special Operations Service. Current occupation listed as security consultant, which apparently meant he got paid ridiculous amounts to stop people from stealing things. One human. My empire had conquered dozens of worlds. We had faced armies, navies, entire planetary defense grids. We had fought through nightmares that would make lesser species weep. And Earth was going to be our downfall because of one annoying human with too many teeth and a t-shirt with a cat on it. I poured myself a drink. A big one. This was going to be a long invasion. The War Council convened at 1400 hours, which was unfortunate because I had been drinking since 900 hours and was not in the mood for tactical discussions. My generals filled the chamber, all of them looking at me with expressions ranging from confusion to barely concealed panic. Even Zolthor, my most bloodthirsty commander, seemed uncomfortable. "Explain to me," I began, my voice dangerously calm, "how we have lost 147 soldiers, 6 gunships, 2 heavy tanks, and our entire forward operating base to a single human who shops at what their internet calls Old Navy." Silence. "Anyone? No thoughts?" "Zolthor, you once told me you could conquer Earth with a rusty spoon in 3 hours. Comments?" Zolthor's scales turned a pale shade of green. "Marshal, the intelligence reports were clearly inaccurate. This human exhibits capabilities far beyond normal parameters." "Normal parameters?" He threw Sergeant Grook into low orbit. "Grook is still up there. We have to send a retrieval team." My communication officer, Velnus, cleared her throat. "Marshal, we are receiving another transmission from Earth, from the human." "Put it through." The screen flickered to life, showing Kai Storm sitting in what appeared to be a primitive dwelling. He was eating something called pizza, and had a beverage with condensation on the container. He looked completely relaxed, like he had just finished a light workout instead of dismantling my invasion force. "Hey there, Vorthak," he said cheerfully. "Nice ship you got up there. Very intimidating. The red lights are a good touch, really sells the whole evil empire aesthetic." My eye twitched. "I wanted to chat before you send more of your guys down. See, I have been doing this for a while now, and I noticed a pattern. You alien warlord types always make the same mistakes." He took a bite of pizza, chewed thoughtfully, then continued. "First, you assume humans are weak because we do not have fancy spaceships or laser guns. Second, you send your troops in small groups because you are overconfident. Third, You never ever do your homework. He pulled out a datapad. So I did mine. Your Crimson Dominion has conquered 47 systems using the same playbook. Shock troops, orbital bombardment if resistance is too strong, then occupation forces. Thing is, all those planets you conquered, they had centralized governments. Single points of failure. Take out the capital, the rest falls in line. Kai Storm grinned and I felt something cold settle in my stomach. Earth does not work that way, buddy. We have got 195 countries, most of which barely tolerate each other on good days. We have got over 7 billion people, and at least 2 billion of us are armed and cranky about it. You cannot bomb us into submission, because there is no central command to target. You cannot scare us into surrender, because we have spent our entire history trying to kill each other, and we are really good at it. He leaned forward. But here is the fun part. You landed in America. Specifically, you landed near a place where we test our most ridiculous weapons and train our most dangerous operators. You landed in my backyard, Vorthak, and I am having a really boring month, so thanks for the entertainment. The transmission cut out. The council chamber was silent. Threxus spoke first. Marshal, perhaps we should reconsider orbital bombardment. No, I said firmly. Earth has valuable resources. I am not glassing a planet worth trillions just because one annoying human has hurt my pride. Then what do you suggest, Marshal? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I had not gotten to my position by being stupid. I had won 47 campaigns by adapting, by understanding my enemy, by using overwhelming force when necessary and surgical precision when appropriate. And right now I needed to admit something that galled me to my core. I needed help. Contact the Zeltharian mercenaries, I ordered. Offer them triple their usual rate. I want their best hunter. Velnus looked shocked. Marshal, the Zeltharians are expensive, for one human. This is not about one human anymore, I said grimly. This is about proving we can solve problems. If word gets out that the Crimson Dominion was stopped by a single human, our reputation is finished. Every colony will revolt. Every vassal state will rebel. We end this now, whatever the cost. 6 hours later, the Zeltharian arrived. Her name was Syrax, and she was terrifying. 3 meters tall, 6 arms, skin like obsidian, and eyes that glowed red in the dark. She had personally assassinated 17 heads of state and had a perfect mission record. She listened to my briefing without comment, watched the footage of Kai Storm's attacks, and then nodded once. Acceptable challenge, she said in a voice like grinding metal. I will bring you his head by dawn. She deployed at 2200 hours, cloaked and silent. I watched from orbit, confident that finally this nightmare would end. Syrax was a professional. She did not charge in like my soldiers. She observed. She planned. She waited for the perfect moment, when Kai Storm was vulnerable. She found him at midnight sleeping in his dwelling. She entered through the window, all 6 blades drawn, moving like smoke. Kai Storm's eyes opened. Took you long enough, he said. What happened next happened fast. Syrax was good. She was possibly the best assassin in known space. She moved with lethal precision, her attacks coordinated and devastating. But Kai Storm was better. He fought her in complete darkness, without weapons, using only his hands and the environment. He was not stronger than Syrax. He was not faster, but he was smarter, more adaptable, more creative. At one point he used a lamp as a club, then a chair, then inexplicably, a houseplant. The fight spilled outside, into the street. Syrax deployed her plasma nets. Kai Storm dodged them. She activated her sonic disruptors. He covered his ears and kicked her in what I assume was a vulnerable spot, because she made a sound I had never heard before. The fight lasted 17 minutes. When it ended, Syrax was hanging upside down from a tree, wrapped in her own plasma net, and Kai Storm was standing below, holding a phone. Say cheese, he said, and took a picture. He posted it to something called social media, with the caption, Alien Ninja got caught in my backyard, lol Tuesday vibes. It received 3 million likes in an hour. I stared at the screen, at the tactical display showing all my failed attempts, at the casualty reports, at the mounting costs. and I made a decision that would haunt me for the rest of my life. Prexis, I said quietly. Recall all forces. We are leaving. Marshal? We are leaving now, before he decides to come up here. But Marshal, the resources, the strategic value. I turned to face him, and whatever he saw in my expression made him go quiet. There are 195 countries on Earth, 7 billion humans. If even 0.1% of them are like Kai Storm, that is 7 million unstoppable warriors. We cannot fight that. Nobody can fight that. I pulled up Earth's file and marked it with the highest warning level in our database. Let the humans keep their planet. Let them keep their pizza and their protein bars and their ridiculous t-shirts, and pray to whatever gods you believe in that they never develop faster than light travel. We left Earth's orbit at 300 hours. As we jumped to hyperspace, my last view was of Kai Storm, standing on his roof waving goodbye. The galaxy would learn soon enough. Humans were not weak. They were not primitive. They were patient. They were creative. They were absolutely insane. And they were best left alone. I never invaded another planet after that. Call it wisdom, call it cowardice, call it whatever you want. I call it survival. Because somewhere out there, Kai Storm is still eating his protein bars, still wearing his cat t-shirts, still waiting for the next idiot warlord who thinks Earth looks easy. And I promise you, it is not worth it. Trust me on this one.